Hello and welcome to the Banter Blitz show for tonight, Wednesday 24th of October, and I have the sound on, which is not good. Yeah, and everybody is right in the chat. I had to change the language module, like English. Yeah, I sometimes cannot do that really properly, but I hope I'm doing okay. So, what's going on there? Tea supply, I have got tea, everything's good. What about, hey, you know, hey, we have those premium codes still on. Buy it, use my code. Okay, dokie, let's get rolling with a couple of games, and I accidentally changed the language. That happens once in a while and is completely useless. Let's take a challenge now. Der Henker. Der Henker from the Netherlands. And he's going A3. Ha! I don't think there's need for any commentary. These are well-tested opening moves that have been played a million times, even up to World Championship level. We've seen many matches of the great players in the past contesting this totally normal position. So I don't really need to tell anything here, right? And no, it's just tea. No drugs involved. This is unbelievably heavy. Yeah, this teapot. Okay, what's going on here? Takes my g5 pawn. That's not nice. So what are we going to do next? F5, G4. I guess so. What else is there to do? And that's true. It is really a lot heavier with the tea. It's a really beautiful teapot. I like it. It's just that it's it can hold up to 2 liters, which is quite a bit. 2 liters, and I started with a little bit less than 2. And I mean, I consumed quite a bit already, but it's still rather heavy. Okay, so F5, I mean, this is really an invitation for him to sacrifice quickly. I'm not sure that I want to do that. Trying to push the bishop back is maybe a good alternative. Hi, hello to Karl in the chat. He is not around super frequently. Hope you're doing fine, Karl. Why is that a move? Why isn't that blundering stuff? The funny thing is, I thought that like I'm just winning material, but it's not the case. A knight takes. What the heck is that? You got to be kidding me. I can take here, huh? Let's do it. And the queen is attacked, so yeah, and now. I mean, okay, bishop c8, yeah? Keep everything. He's got knight f6 check, but you cannot have it all. Okay, I can go queen c5 and trade queens. That is the probably reasonable thing to do. Yeah, Power of Knights asks if the Maroczy bind is suitable for attacking players. I'm not quite sure I understand the point. I mean, if you absolutely want to attack on the if you absolutely want an attack on the king, you should probably play more in a typical dragon style and not play the Maroczy bind. But it is not really necessary to play for an attack every single game. If you just get a strategically great position, just play it like that. It's good to be versatile. Nobody wants to be a one-trick pony, I guess. Yeah, I'm not super happy with my technical play here. It looks a little bit odd. But I don't think it can ever be enough. The bishop on f6 is just an annoyance, but there's just not enough going on. Wanted to play king to d7 and for rook b6. Maybe push this away. Yeah, now d4 is hanging, but rook c7, rook c6, rook e7 check. That looks really strange. Let's do it. Absolutely. Yeah, there's a statement by Arsene that said that the phone was ringing just at precisely the moment where he had to focus. I completely know what's going on there. If the phone is ringing in the middle of a game, I always lose. Basically always. There's just no other scenario. Okay, how do we win this? Maybe get the king away. So rook a8 next or something. I'm not doing this well, yeah? I really don't. Okay. I absolutely misplayed that. And now I have to play on time. Pretty awful. Oh my god. Help! Yeah, I won on time. That was a terrible screw up, really. Yeah, thanks for the game, dear Henker. That was not the most conventional opening ever. Don't try that. Don't try this at home. So I tried to accept the challenge by Karl. Yeah, I'm fairly certain there was a win there somehow in the game. Here I got my doubts there. Black's development is really not existing, non-existent. Non-existent. Yeah, bishop g4, I prevented. And somehow it looks like white had a couple of extra moves available. Okay, d5. Probably a bit too early. Maybe this is a little bit too much, but it's definitely looks threatening. Yeah, I don't know. It looks very, very crude, but it is probably somewhat dangerous. That's a good defensive move, though. F5. F5 is a threat. There was a question by Miktal if I ever have played at the Isle of Man. No, I did not ever play there. This is a fairly recent tournament, right? I mean, a recently added tournament to the tournament circuit, and I didn't play there, and I'm not sure that this is something that is high on my list. I mean, it is definitely a fantastically strong tournament and would be cool to have the opportunity to play against some of the best players in the world, even though you're probably getting killed. But anyway, that is attractive. But I mean, I don't want to be rude or anything, but I don't quite see the touristic value in traveling to the Isle of Man. Maybe I'm wrong, and there are fantastically interesting things that you can do, but it didn't seem to me like this is the case. And I mostly select my tournaments because of the destination. Okay, is there a checkmate somewhere? I'm trying for it. A tournament that I absolutely would like to play at least once is the Reykjavik Open on Iceland. I checked this out, but there is just one issue there. It is extremely expensive, really extremely expensive, and I wasn't sure that it's really worth paying this price. Isle of Man is a British is British. I think it is a British. What is it called? This is it directly belongs to the yeah, I know the German expression, but I think it's part of the Queen's property, let's say. Yeah, the Iceland tournament, I would be both interested in the historic value for chess, yeah, because of the Fischer angle, but mostly because of the nature. I mean, I've talked to people who've been there, and they loved the scenery, and only heard very positive things about it. The accommodation is extremely expensive. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so where is the mate? Knight h7, that was my idea, but I don't see a mate. Come on. I don't really see the mate, which is making this a little bit of a gamble, but somehow I don't see what else. Yeah, Black is playing well, defending this well. Maybe I'm just playing badly here. That is absolutely possible, that I'm totally overplaying my hand. I did not figure out a win yet at all. It's just a gamble. Knight f6 and then h5 next. Yeah, I don't know. Probably this is a whole bunch of bollocks. Yeah, that is not working. Yeah. Queen f8 I was even more concerned about. Rook h3 maybe, is that a thing? And I don't see that wins either. I just have no good move here. Yeah, of course. The advice to play random moves and flag is kind of valid. Yeah, I completely agree. But I still want to try to set the odd chess problem. Queen h7 mate, but you can take with the queen. Queen f6 should work. Yeah, queen f6 does defend. Now that was a pretty much incorrectly played game by me. Thanks for the game, Karl. You defended very well. We just have to speed up at the end. It's a matter of pure speed. Poblano from Mexico, but he's not a premium. I just see that. Power of knights. Yeah, regarding Iceland and Reykjavik, a friend of mine, former club and teammate of mine, he played the Reykjavik Open in sorry for the sound, like 4 years ago, something like that. And he returned to Iceland, I think last year or the year before, simply for pure touristic value. He wanted to explore the island, the nature, and he was absolutely thrilled about it. So this is something that I feel is interesting. Aha. He's got 1200 and knows all the theory. Let's see. King b1. Yeah, that's a move. Hey, he's pretty strong, eh, for 1200. Pretty strong. Tja, I guess I made a mistake somewhere, because that... The Hastings tournament has been mentioned in the chat. I know people who've played there and they think it's, I mean, it has a good name, but you should just avoid it, as far as they told me. You just don't, yeah, it just, you're sitting in a cold and windy place and it doesn't really, it's not any fun. But that's what I heard. And it might have changed in the last couple of years. That statement was from a couple of years ago. Yeah, white is definitely better here. I don't know how much. MVL hasn't played h3 g4. There's a game between MVL and Caruana, and that went with h4 instead of h3. Okay, I'm looking at the f4 pawn. Yeah, I have not played king b8, and I wonder if that will at the end cost me. Queen a7 at some point could be a problem. We'll see what happens. Very, very dangerous queen on a7 possibly. Yeah, this is one of the better positions that I had in this game. I think I've got the h-pawn under control. And okay. F4, that is probably, nah, that's not good, yeah. I should not do that. Yeah. And my king is a little bit more active, and maybe I can make something out of that. The Petrov is a very endgame heavy opening. You get endings quite often. Yeah, let's see. King e5, f4, something like that. I need to get some ideas here on the road. f4 is interesting. If I get in f4, bishop f5, I'm playing for activity. Finally, he makes a mistake. Wow. Pooh. A very strong game here by Power of Knights, rated 1200 in Blitz and 1400 in Bullet. Amazingly played. I think I was certainly worse. Yeah, and maybe more, I don't know. Yeah, thanks a lot for the game, Power of Knights. So, the next challenge. Lazarus, nah, that's always difficult. Will Fabiano play the Petrov against Carlsen? Yeah, that's an interesting question. That is one of the things that really interests me a lot. It's tough to say. I would be surprised if he relies on that exclusively. That's a good question, Miktal. Has Caruana ever played the Petrov? Yeah, the Petrov is the reason why he's in that match. This is just the thing. He has scored with that like a madman at the candidates. I mean, he beat Grishuk in a crucial game. He beat Kramnik, yeah. Yeah, it is certainly possible that Carlsen will play bishop c4 against the Petrov. It is something that he has, or it's an anti-Petrov. It's something that he has done before. He beat Fabiano in Stavanger, I think, was the tournament this year with the bishop c4. But it's tough to say. I would be surprised if he plays the Petrov the whole time. I would really be surprised. That's tough in a match, yeah, to be like super consistent. Not even Kramnik played the Berlin Wall against Kasparov the whole time in their 2000 match. He also played the Archangelsk at one moment, and Kasparov didn't always play e4. I only have one hope for that match, that they have more opening variety than we got in the match 2 years ago, when every other game was some d3 Ruy Lopez, and that I found a little bit boring. Yeah, this is exactly true, Henker. He says that the Petrov is the kind of opening that Magnus plays well. This is in fact something that I would think, that is something that I would think of if I'm preparing Caruana. I have analyzed the Petrov a lot in the last couple of weeks, and I definitely can say that there are variations where black is equal or very close to equal, but I think it's exactly the kind of position where you think that Magnus will play for 500 moves and yeah, maybe press water out of stone somewhere. I'm not certain if that is the best choice, like against this opponent for Caruana. Maybe something else is better, but it is ultimately difficult to tell. I cannot tell you what they play. I'm not in any of the teams, which would be really fun to be. But of course, that's not the kind of level I could be helpful. Okay, so I have weakened d4 a lot. Huh. What a stupid way to play. I did not overlook knight e4. I was just thinking it could be interesting. Maybe this whole thing is bad because of this move. Maybe. Yeah, I mean, he's playing very well here, yeah, with his 1300. Mick, you have a pretty weird database there. White does not have such a heavy plus in the Petrov if you look at a somewhat more complete database. Yeah, a world championship match without the Berlin Wall, that would be something. Yeah, I really don't know. What I hope is a little bit, I hope for a variety of first moves, not just one e4 all the time. As I earlier said, I would be willing to bet that we will get knight f3, d5, e3 at some point. This is one of those lines that are getting fashionable, and I think it can easily happen. actually for both sides. I mean, both players could play like that, is what I'm trying to say. Unsuccessfully, I guess. Okay, so let's go and gain more space. It's almost checkmate here. Almost. Yeah, and the pawn promotes. Very well played by Lazarus. Lazarus, I don't know. And then I got a little something and won. I don't think that was the most correct game for me. Knight moves is on without a K. Yeah, the scores there that you mentioned seem high for white. Okay, so let's try another another Petrov or Russian defense. I don't think that is very common in the English language. They really call it Petrov. Yeah, that is a Gambit line. That is not really good. Okay, I take it back. That you can play without being worse. It's not good, but at least you're not immediately in terrible shape. So I'm going to play for mate. Hooray! Yeah, that was probably a bit naive. Wow, I played it really terribly. What the heck? Just d3. I'm playing this like completely badly. Let's focus. I don't want to lose this game against this rotten opening line. And it's close. It's close. At least I'm not getting caught in the middle here on the e-file with queen and king lined up. That was a really bad setup, what I was doing here. Yeah, always watch the chat. I think this is one of the points here that you can ask questions and we get some chat going on and some interesting discussions. Yeah, I don't like this position. I don't like it. Yeah, I need to get rid of my bishop. The bishop is just a totally useless piece. Let's just make sure that this disappears, yeah. I think this is at least close to equal. Winning with black is a different matter. Tomov, I'm not quite sure that I understand. What you mean, the worst first move, or the move that is yeah, something like that is your question, but I'm not totally sure about the... Yeah, the worst move I think is probably g4. f3 is also not really great, yeah. But g4 is really not a good idea. Yeah, the Isle of Man is a crown dependency, then if that is the right term. That is what I meant. Yeah, I think it's owned directly by the Queen, and therefore not part of the European Union, for example. What is that? Isn't that just weakening? I'll take it. Okay, so I want a pawn. That's good. Okay, he's attacking a5. I don't know. I mean, I know Cochrane, but I don't know Mois Ude. I don't know who that is. And people will ask, the Cochrane Gambit against the Petrov is not great. But it is not losing. It's not something I would recommend to people, but it's not immediately terrible. Okay, check. The Cochrane Gambit is something that I would not play against preparation if the opponent can anticipate that this is coming. But in the odd blitz game, I think it's perfectly okay. What is not okay is what I'm doing here. That is really, really bad. This is freaking dangerous. Yeah, I cannot move my knight, and then knight f6 comes. Okay, let's go for a direct counter attack. And he just takes that. Why not think for a moment? It's not... I mean, I was thinking, I was planning this a little bit at least. Is there a mate? I don't see a mate. Check. No. Where is the mate? Here is the mate. Oh, that's not a mate. What am I doing here? I keep overlooking stuff. I shouldn't overlook stuff. The good news is I will win on time. Okay, thanks for the game. Knight moves. I did not really play it well at the end. Oh, that's a cool challenge. I have to take that one. So, Nihal Zareen, one of the... That is one contender, really, for everything. One of the most promising Indian junior players. So... have to focus. A little bit less of chat here. E5, he's got knight takes e5. A white player is a grandmaster. Unsurprisingly, if you look at this rating, but probably has not yet messaged that to admins here. Yeah. He plays for a counter attack against d6. I'm preventing knight c4. In a recent show, I had completely outplayed him, but then he won on time. He won on time with the rook down. So it's not like there's absolutely zero chance of doing stuff, but it's difficult. Okay, this is hanging and it's tough to keep. So let's get close to the king and try to play for an attack. This is not completely simple. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, sometimes the title applications are tough. Like there's just some formal things not quite okay, and then it is delayed. There's a message in the chat by someone who checked the rating list. So knight f4, yeah? If he takes it, knight takes. I have a couple of ideas. One is knight e2. I'm not sure what he's doing now. I mean, I've got knight d3 here. It's one of the things, but yeah, you wonder if I got more here. Knight d3 will win some material. This is a simple. I have to check first. I'm such a moron. I have to check first, and then he's just lost. Check knight g2, over. It's just over. Ah, what a silly mistake again against this kid. That's so silly. Yeah, white was just totally lost, I think. And then I make a wrong move order here. I'm just a mouse slip, basically. Very lucky. That's extremely lucky, really. Okay. I mean, here I made a move order mistake. That was just very silly. That was the idea. Check and this. And now what do you do with white? You just resign, basically. King takes bishop h3, loses. It's fairly clear. Rook takes queen e1. That's just over. White is just completely lost here. The wrong move order. Or is there a save? I don't see it. I don't think you can save this. Like, why is that not lost? I mean, that's, I don't quite believe it. Or is that okay for white? I don't see a win, yeah? Rook f6, I thought, but he has rook takes d6. Rook d6. Maybe I'm not immediately winning. This, I've got this, that is a draw, I think. Yeah, I don't know. But losing is a bit of a joke, really, from that position. Okay, that was a cool game. So, who else do we have here? And I would like to play somebody I have not played in the show before, at least today. Did I play Stinkstiefel? I don't remember. Let's do it. Stinkstiefel, let's get rolling. Lerxt has a question. Yeah, thanks for the game, Nian. It's been great to play. We have played a couple of really cool games. What do I recommend against the King's Gambit? I recommend to take the pawn and be happy. And here we got the Halloween Gambit. That's funny. Okay, I have to try to remember this. That's my recipe against the Halloween Gambit. Return the pawn and go for checkmate. What a weird way to play chess. Anyway. Okay. This is so utterly strange. If I take e2 here and then check here, I'm winning the knight on a4. I just hope I'm not getting checkmated. Yeah, Honigdachs says loose pieces drop off. Yes, that's definitely a case here. Okay. Yeah, that should be close to winning, actually. Oh, there's a question. What engine do I recommend? I only use Stockfish, really. I sometimes check other engines, but it's really rare. Stockfish is for free, so you don't have to spend any money on it. And if you exclude anything based on artificial intelligence, it's probably just the strongest chess entity that there is. So basically the things that we have available publicly, that's the strongest or close to the strongest. Yeah, b7 is dropping, which is unfortunate, but you cannot have it all. Okay. I wanted to take, but I now recognize that this isn't even so clear. Yeah, I'm not so happy with this. I misplayed that a bit. The bishop on e7 is just constantly hanging. I cannot move the knight. Wow. I have a real problem here to activate, and I know that this is very radical, but I couldn't see how to get this coordinated. Very odd, really. That was one of the little ideas. Very well defended here by Stinkstiefel. This is still not an easy win. I mean, he's got the greatest possible activity. Not easy at all. I guess the only solution can be to drink more tea. Why do you play so well? Make mistakes. Come on. What the heck, it's not even an easy draw. It's not even an easy draw for me. It's got time. Lots of time. Okay, that's a draw, but I'm losing on time. Very well played by white. That's a theoretical draw, but he stalemated me. That's kind. And that was the absolutely weirdest game. I mean, you're just totally winning here, and then I'm screwing this up. What did I do wrong? I mean, one thing is now pretty clear to me, and this is really very simple actually. I should not open the A file. I mean, he's got rooks, so why do I open files? Yeah, if I simply improve my minor pieces, put this to E4 and slowly put this forward, I'm winning almost automatically. I've got two minor pieces and a pawn against the rook, so it's just very easily winning if you do it right. But the moment he was here, yeah, it's still a draw. Why shouldn't it be a draw? Is there a Zugzwang? I don't see it. Well, what kind of Zugzwang is there supposed to be? I think it's a draw. It's definitely a draw without the f-pawn, that's very well known, but it should be a draw here as well. I think it should be a draw. There's no way to Zugzwang me. Okay, very well defended here by Stinkstiefel. And very painful here for my rating. Okay, Jack use. Without rating, okay. Ah, you mean play for mate, Honigdachs. That's possible. Yeah, that's possible. Yeah, question by Move 11. If I have any tournaments coming up. No, I don't have any tournaments planned. Might. So, the modern main line. Knight back to f6. Yeah, that's also a line against knight c3. It's fine. Fuchsie, I don't believe that line to be correct that you recommend. It looks a little bit too unsound. Yeah, so what about this position? I think it is probably about equal. Now I think I'm actually better after f4, because I think this is mostly weakening white, unless I'm completely misunderstanding the whole thing. I'm misunderestimating the white position. Is it? I don't know. Using the king going to d7 is a bit of a I mean, it's kind of what you want to do, but it could be slightly risky. Bishop b4 maybe. c3 is not a move that white should be particularly happy about. Okay, do I go? No, I'm just doing it in a super dry fashion. I'm just arguing that I have all my pawns on light squares, and this gives me the better ending. Interesting. So I can actually take with the queen here. If he trades, I'm just going all the way to g4. Why? Really, that works? That should just lose. King f5. Yeah, very dry game, but it worked out quite well. Yeah, this is the kind of game you win in the Petrov. You have a very solid sound position, and then you have to be playing for little things. So let's play Shaba. I've played him before, obviously, but he has not been around all that much lately. Maybe due to the shows being on Fridays. The Catalan. That's not good news. The Catalan is notoriously difficult to get something interesting against. Yeah, this is probably the main line. Knight c6, knight c6, e3. I don't know really. That is a bit strange. Giving up the light squared bishop here is a bit of a strange decision. Okay, so I just can go c5, of course, and should be okay. I mean, I'm a pawn up. He still has to regain it, which is admittedly not a super difficult task. Yeah, what is white now up to? This one, okay. But then it's not so easy to get the pawn back, huh? Queen c4. Let's think about this for a moment. King takes could be interesting. No. I mean, you can play that, but I'd like to have the option to play knight to b6 and simply keep the pawn. Okay, now probably knight d5. Yep. Okay, so white is struggling a little bit here, still being a pawn down, and you don't quite see how you get it back. Wait. There is bishop to d4 here, right? There's a little bit of discussion about some openings. And one of them is the King's Gambit that is mentioned. I looked at the King's Gambit, of course, recently. And I have to say, I mean, I never had huge respect for that opening. And looking at it now more closely, I really think it's no good. I mean, I always thought it's nothing special, but I don't think white can equalize. It's really difficult to equalize with white. And many lines that are frequently played are just plain terrible. Okay, here I snatched the c4 pawn and I will try to keep it. Yeah, the King's Gambit. I've studied the King's Gambit for the first time really some weeks ago. I never really did before. I always thought it's so ridiculous you don't have to look at it. But it's, well, anyway, I looked at this for the first time recently and it was interesting to study. And what I felt was very remarkable is that I studied what the books give currently, like recent e4, e5 books, and they all recommend to play the Shallop defense, which is 3 knight f3. Okay, black takes the pawn, and then 3 knight f3, and then knight f6. And then I started to check this a little bit myself, and it was absolutely remarkable how bad that is for white. I mean, it's just a bad opening. And I had to simply recommend the same thing. It's just bad for white. I think maybe you can get some sort of equality, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be really tough. It's also funny if you give the King's Gambit to Stockfish and you give it like an hour or something, it will exactly recommend the Shallop defense and gives black a slight advantage. And I think this is very exact. That's very true. Exactly what it is. I don't think refutation is a bit too strong, really, but it's just not good for white. It just isn't. Yeah, speaking of not good for white, yeah, this is also not good for white, but I'm not entirely certain how I should play here, huh? b7 is hanging. Yeah, it's also funny that people still play the bishop's gambit, 3 bishop c4, which after queen h4 check, king f1 and d6 is just, I mean, I really don't know who looks at these lines with white. They have to be very optimistic people. I mean, your king is in bad shape, you are pawn down and so on. It just looks completely ridiculous. But it is sometimes played, the bishop's gambit, bishop c3. There's even, I found a game, a blitz game or rapid game by Ivanchuk, which is remarkable. I mean, he really knows his stuff. Yeah, the Latvian gambit has been refuted. Yeah, somebody says it like it's some news. That this is something new. The Latvian was always refuted. It was never a valid opening. And you can play basically whatever and win. Almost. Okay, anyway. What's going on here? This is still a little bit on the weird side. This position. Yeah, I mean, white now probably has to give up material. Yeah, of course. I have had weird streams where I was forced to play wacky openings and I actually won with the Latvian gambit. That's true. I mean, it's not like you can never ever ever win, but it still remains bad. Okay, so probably I should check here first and then queen d5. That was my thought. Let me think about this still. I cannot take the bishop there. I can take the bishop. But what is exactly happening after this one? There's queen takes f3 mate. And you don't cover that, yeah? Okay, queen d1, but I'm not exactly afraid of queen d1. I would have taken d2, there is rook d1, yeah? So yeah, queen d5 is a good move anyway. I don't think I played this in the best possible way, technically. Oh, that's an easy question there by Shaba. If I would play rather the regular Budapest Gambit or the Feierowitz. Yeah, I mean, the Budapest is not so bad. It's just an opening that is slightly better for white as far as I know. And the Feierowitz Gambit doesn't work, as I think. So knight g4. And just accept that you're slightly worse. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, those pawns will win the game. Are two extra pawns good in a rook ending? Yeah, almost always. Okay, so we don't have that much time left. Is there a bullet challenge? Yeah, if somebody challenges me to a bullet game, I would be happy to play it. Bullet chess or 2 minutes is also fine. We have like 3 minutes left and I don't want to be too long. So anyone out there for a game of bullet or 2 minutes or something? So Kane challenged me. E5 could be a bit tricky. Okay, D5 is not the refutation. Ambitious Pawn says that Schelling has become really strong. Do you think he improved? I think he was very strong the whole time. Maybe he improved. I'm sorry, I don't want to say anything like... I know, I'm just saying he always was strong, I think. It was always very difficult to play him. Oh, I'm not sure that this was necessary yet. And Kane has resigned. I think we will get a second bullet game in there, right? And Shaba is challenging, so let's do it. That's the Duncan Subtle setup that I was talking about. The one that Nakamura is playing sometimes. And I won a big center pawn. That's good news. And I love, absolutely love Black's pawn structure. Yeah, that is a fantastic structure. Super compact. Yeah, bishop is in a good position on c5, and Shaba resigns. I also was more than 20 seconds up here. That's a lot in a 1 minute game. Okay, I hope you all enjoyed the shows back on the Wednesday evening. I will be back next week. That is, I think, October 30. Yeah, October 30, right? And 31st. Yeah, I hope you're all going to make it. I have to say though, it will be very likely 30 minutes later. So we have 7:30. We will have probably the German show, and we start the English show at 9 in the evening Central European time. But I will definitely announce it, and you will see it also here on the Chess24 website. Yeah, thanks a lot for watching and being so active in the chat. That makes it a lot more fun. Bye bye till next week. Take care.